welcome to your first day on the Digital Job Site Apprentice. Let's just dive right into this explainer and figure out how we actually build the very foundation of the web. I'm honestly thrilled to be your mentor today. You know, if you've ever looked at a really beautifully designed web page and wondered how the whole shebang stands up without just falling apart, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're throwing on our hard hats and looking at the invisible architecture holding up basically everything on the internet.
Grab your clipboard. Today's orientation covers the digital skeleton, reading the site blueprint, your basic building materials, constructing walls and rooms, and finally, preventing crumbling web walls. Let's get to work.
Okay, Section 1, the digital skeleton. So, you know how a skeleton gives a human body its rigid shape, right? Well, HTML acts exactly like that. It is the structural skeleton for literally every single website you visit. YouTube, Instagram, Netflix, you name it. I mean, think about it. Without a skeleton, a human body would just be a formless puddle on the floor. And it is the exact same concept on the internet. Without HTML giving that rigid shape and order to the text and media, a website would just be a completely confusing, unreadable puddle of raw data floating around in your browser.
As your seasoned foreman, I need you to commit this golden rule to memory. Every web page starts with HTML. Without this absolutely crucial foundation, the websites we build just wouldn't exist. It really doesn't matter how fancy the design is, or how insanely complex the software behind it might be. There is no web development, period, without first laying down this digital concrete.
All right, moving on to Section 2, reading the site blueprint.
Now, HTML officially stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext just refers to text that links to other pages. Simple enough, but what I really want you to focus on here is the markup part. Markup is basically a way of labeling content so browsers actually understand what they're looking at. To keep it simple, just think of these markup tags as the blueprint instructions we hand over to our builder. When we write HTML, we use tags. They're these little labels wrapped in brackets that act almost like sticky notes. They tell a browser like Chrome or Safari, hey, this piece of text, that's a bold title. Or, hey, this right here is an image file.
So here's our actual workflow on the job site. Step 1, the browser receives our HTML blueprint. Step 2, it scans those tag labels from top to bottom. And step 3, it builds the structure. The browser is basically the ultimate perfectly obedient construction worker. It's going to build exactly what your markup tells it to build, creating a solid structure that people can actually see and click around on.
Next up, Section 3, your basic building materials. Our foundational building materials include headings, paragraphs, images, buttons, and links. Think of this exactly like delivering raw materials to a house plot. You know, you deliberately place your lumber, your drywall, and your pipes exactly where the blueprint demands, right? Well, HTML works the exact same way. If you want a button at the front door, you place a button tag. You want an image in the living room, you drop in an image tag. You are in total control of where those materials go.
Which brings us to Section 4, constructing walls and rooms.
If we think of our website as a house, HTML is what builds the vital walls, the doors, and the rooms. It's the core structure. Later on in your apprenticeship, you're going to learn about CSS. That comes in to paint the exterior and, hang the nice curtains. It handles all the visual decoration. And eventually, you'll learn about JavaScript, which acts as the electrician, wiring up the interactive movement and power. But right now, we just need to make sure our walls are solid. Because obviously, without walls, there's absolutely nothing to paint and nowhere to run the wires.
Let's map these tags directly to our house analogy. HTML headings act as our sturdy, load-bearing structural walls, giving the whole page its macro-level shape. The HTML paragraphs, on the other hand, well, those form the spacious individual rooms we build between those walls. The headings hold everything up, and the paragraph rooms are where the actual living happens. That's where your readers spend their time consuming your content.
All right, last part, Section 5, preventing crumbling web walls.
I really want you to ask yourself, what happens to our digital house if we forget to include these vital tag instructions for the browser? Like, what if we just toss the browser some text, but completely forget to label it as a heading or a paragraph?
Well, the crucial point here is that missing tags mean the browser just doesn't know how to organize the information. It gets super confused. If the builder doesn't know what's a wall and what's a room, they're just going to start throwing materials everywhere. And it results in chaotic, crumbling web walls. Text overlaps, images break, and the layouts completely fail. Proper labeling is literally the difference between a beautiful, sturdy digital home and an abandoned, unnavigable construction site. And with that, your orientation is officially complete. You now understand the skeletal framework of the internet, but it leaves us with one final thought to really spark your journey. With the blueprint logic clearly in your hands and your hard hat securely fastened, are you ready to pick up your tools and lay the first brick of your digital foundation?